Hello, really rubbish racing fans. Welcome to the Formula F Festival of Anderstorp. I think that's how you say it. We are here under the sunny skies of Sweden. I say sunny. There's a thick layer of cloud between the sun and the ground, but the sun is there somewhere. Here with me today is Adam.
Hello.
And this week, replacing Dan, we have Campbell.
Hello.
Dan's off playing with Lamborghinis. Right, here's the track. This is the 7th of the 8 races in the Formula R Festival. The 2 races making up the final round, final event. And here's the pole lap. Ollie K once again setting the pole lap. You guys want to take us around?
So you go into the first corner, which is slightly banked, so it's quite tricky to get right, and it's remarkably easy to spin coming out. So you put on the throttle for the long straight, which is actually a runway when the cars aren't going round it. And you reach very high speeds as you go down, and there's no barrier on either side, so if you get it wrong here, you can have a colossal spin but not hit anything, which is always nice. Braking to turn 3. It's easy to get it wrong and spin and end up in the gravel, which will lose you a lot of time, and always not done that. Turn 3 is also easy to get wrong. Because again, always not got it wrong.
They're all easy to get wrong on this circuit, aren't they?
They are all easy to get wrong. And then into what was the first corner when this track was used for Formula 1 in the 1970s, but it is now the 4th corner. It's also banked, and so you can carry a bit more speed than you would otherwise be able to. And turn 5 is similar, except it goes left.
3 very similar corners on this circuit.
Yes.
You can take them pretty quickly, can't you? Even in
Yes, fairly quickly. Then braking for the third from last corner, it's quite tight. And it's quite easy to spin, as someone's proving. That's one of the Kaibutsu cars. And into the carousel. It's a long sweeper, but it's fairly easy, even in these wet conditions. And into the final corner, it's another tight left-hander, easy to get wrong. But assuming you don't get it wrong, it's a simple run to the line, although if you're in the middle of the race, you have to be careful not to go off the first corner, which is remarkably easy to do, as someone's just done. And that's a lap of Anderstorp.
Right, here we are, the minis just finishing off their practice session as we look at the starting grid. Ollie K with a 1:48.575 blistering lap. Made the rest of the field look amateur, didn't they?
Apart from Jay, he was quite close. And we had a few cars who had various incidents in that lap, and as such have found themselves somewhat off the pole time.
Yeah, the spread from first to last was nearly a minute, what with all the spins we had.
Yes, yes.
Right, cars should be lining up on the grid any time now.
Doing their remarkably brisk parade laps. Race one just went straight through the wall out of the pits. That was amazing.
Yeah, the outlaps are some of the quickest, simply because the cars just get vacuumed from their garage onto the grid.
You'd think it was dry almost, how quick they are.
Well, I mean,
Indeed.
you can't see any rain at the moment.
No, that is all. And the engines are revving.
Yeah, it's certainly dry on this section of the track, but I believe everyone is on wet tyres.
And they're off. And Ollie's had a spin, and he's gone into one of the Javery cars and ended up in the gravel at turn 1. Oh, and he's joined by Don Matteo.
Don Matteo spinning there. The majority of the field has made it onto the back straight okay. Now we have another dimension flip. AJOK the only driver remaining. I'm sure everyone else will return momentarily. They usually do.
If not, there's something quite badly wrong. Or at least more badly wrong. And there we are. AJOK has emerged in front of the two Kaibutsu cars, sorry. But he's run wide at turn 3.
Let's not last long.
McLeod applauding that crash there.
Yes. Yes, they're baying for blood.
They're a tough crowd in Sweden here. You probably would be too if you had to endure this weather for the whole time.
And that's Lynn, number 64, going round. Has managed to avoid most of the first lap carnage, unlike last week at Pole.
Yeah, he's come up from 13th on the grid to, I believe, 7th.
Oh, there's Dan Thorne going wide. Dan Thorne finally got his car painted just in time for the final races.
A lovely paint indeed.
Oh, and that's by Junior being nudged by one of the Black Cat's cars.
His PY James started 6th on the grid. Pretty good showing from him.
Very good.
And here's Bukoy going wide, being overtaken by Smithy into the final turn. Who's gained a place? So much spray here.
Especially if you're at the back of the pack and going down the straight.
Depends how far back off the pack you are.
Oh yes.
Thanks to the first corner incidents and the second corner incidents, I think the field's fairly well spread out now, as you can see down the main straight there.
Yes, it is much better spread out than it could have been.
Anyway, with Ollie K going off on the first corner, this leaves us with Jay Coops in the lead now.
Followed by Blady, and I think it was the Flavoury Rug in third.
Jay Coops and Flavoury Rug, two of the drivers going for the driver's title in this race, equal on points with Smithy.
Very close run-in thing for the championship. Oh, and there's a Kaibutsu spinning, it's Lynn. And he's been collected by AJOK.
AJOK's not managed to avoid him there. He's lost his front wing and he looks to be beached on the banking there. That is a disaster. Oh, he's off. He's off. He's off and he's on again. Oh, this really is amateur hour, isn't it?
Okay, he's freed himself at last.
It's the last of the Northern Monkey cars going past there.
Oh my word.
Oh dear. Somebody get the clown music.
Not spinning is Jay Coops.
Yes, that's put AJK about half a lap behind now by the looks of things.
And with no front wing, that's not gone well for him.
That's Blairy, he seems to have dropped behind Smithy, so that's the top three in the championship are now in the top 3 places.
It's only fitting. Well, Blairy must have had a spin somewhere.
Adam, did you get to talk to Smithy before the race to find out his thoughts on it?
Oh, and Blairy's had a spin at turn 3, too.
I did actually have a word with Smithy before the race. Quite nervous actually. He's never gone into a final round this tight before, and he was quite disappointed with the wet weather, knowing he's not very good in the wet.
It has been 100% humidity all weekend here. Probably not 100% humidity, there's some room for air in the atmosphere. It's not a flood, but it's close enough.
There's AJOK fishing for a new front wing after that accident, and about to be lapped by Jay Coops.
That's a disastrous start to his day, if that's the case.
Certainly is it. That second lap could hardly have gone much worse.
He's currently mid-table, looking for some decent points after a poor start to the season. Meanwhile, here's his teammate, negotiating turn 1. Like a pro, look at that. Beautiful.
He's good at this bit. He's really good at the straight.
Ollie K, considering his first lap spin, he's made immense progress. But he's probably 5 seconds a lap quicker than everyone.
Ollie K appearing to have quite formidable speed in these wet conditions.
On board here with Bukoy into turn 2. Taking it nice and easy. There's Blairy heading to the first of the 3 banked corners.
First of the 3.
Yeah, there are 3. Oh no, I'm forgetting the first turn. Second of 4.
4.
4? I thought there was only 3.
That's 4. Sold.
We'll need to send Alex out on a track walk over the lunch break to find out just how many bank corners there are.
Oh, who's that there?
That's one of the Northern Monkeys cars. It's probably Kovamalia.
I think this first turn is fairly banked, isn't it?
What kind of angle are
Yeah.
we looking at?
Anything more than 2 degrees, I think. They're probably all banked. The main straight here serving as the town's runway.
It's not
Hence
banked.
why it's so wide. No, this isn't banked. That would be disastrous for any aircraft trying to land.
Yeah.
Smithy there putting a lap on Kovamalia, who goes straight on. Adding some gravel dust.
Wet conditions quite challenging, as is Blairy, who's had another spin at turn 2.
Does that seem lose a place to Bukoy here? He's
Right
keeping on
across
the
the
inside
middle.
line.
Ooh. I think he's just about holding on, but
Bukoy biding his time there.
Bukoy right in his tail. They're side by side going into the first of the bank corners. Or the second.
Second. Very tentative round there. Tippy toes. It is so wet out there.
Great driving by the pair there.
They're coming up on a back marker. Kovamalia gets out the way. Very out the way. Very, very out the way.
Very out the way backwards. The best way to get out the way.
Yes.
Bukoy is losing a little bit of time there, dipping a wheel onto the grass. Or certainly very deep onto the curb at least.
Yes, that won't give him a run on Blairy going into this corner.
Bukoy driving a fine race so far though in the Gemtech machine, making sure it's pointing in the right direction at all times and staying on the grey stuff, which is the most important thing at this late stage of the season and with this kind of weather.
Well, exactly, and he's looking to continue his amazing consistency, which has seen him take 3 fifth places in a row.
He is the
this
king of the
race.
fifth.
King of the fifth. Is that a river?
A river?
You know, the fourth.
I'm not sure I get the reference. Oh, of course, you're Scottish. Down here in England, we don't name our rivers after numbers, apart from the 7.
And Race Pro UK has had a spin and a crash. He's lost his front wing. At the third of the banked corners at Opel.
Succumb to the banking there. Oh, here's Don Matteo
And Don Matteo just about keeps it on the track at the final corner.
Friction coefficient of 0 there. Ollie K still on his ruthless adventure.
Chasing down Smithy for what would be third place, which after his first lap dramas would be an amazing result for him.
He's determined to headbutt the skyline, isn't he? The horizon in that car. He's going so fast. Smithy, though, is no stranger to pressure, having led many races and won many championships. So he's not going to give in at all easily.
Nor would you expect him to give in at all easily. That would be very disappointing. And he's had it's not a spin, it's more of a quarter spin, but it's been enough to allow Ollie K through into third place.
Oh, you can taste the disappointment in that helmet.
I'm sure you can.
That's dropped Smithy to 4th.
However, he still has a fairly comfortable gap over Bukoy in 5th.
Bukoy now past Blairy and into his, as you say, Campbell, into his magical 5th position, which is at this half distance probably where he'll stay now.
Very possibly, yes. By Junior running 6th.
Been very close between the Kobatsu teammates this season. Lynn starting off very well.
Starting off very well. They haven't had a double point score since the opening race, which has been a source of some disappointment for them. But
and thankfully for all the fans watching, this final race is not double points.
No, that would just be silly. It would make a mockery of the championship. Oh, and Lynn's had a spin at turn 2. Managed to right it, but
gets it back on the circuit.
And doesn't hit anything, crucially.
Thankfully, the circuit has a lot of runoff area before you reach any barriers in quite a lot of the circuit. Oh, having said that,
as we were saying,
Smithy's found the tyre wall at a place where the tyre wall is as close to the track as can possibly be.
Has he? Oh, and he's had his front wing taken away as punishment for his mistake.
Well, I'm not sure it's worth him pitting at this stage of the race. With only 10 minutes to go, I believe his loss is worse than his gain.
So what are we thinking? Did he lose his front wing there? Sorry, I was looking at my timing screen.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he is.
I think with the field spread out at this point, it probably won't drop him back too far, but we'll see. Here's the leader, still leading, as leaders do.
It's generally customary, yes.
Who's this in front of him? This is Don Matteo in the 85 red flashed PSP car. The only PSP car.
Speaking to Jay before the race, I believe the term he used was bricking it. This is the first time he's been in with a shout of the championship.
Hard to believe, considering his tenure and record in the club.
Yeah, I believe he's probably one of the most underrated drivers in the club, but definitely one of the fastest.
He's like Sterling Moss, isn't he? Best driver never to win the championship, I think.
Maybe that will all change today.
Maybe it will. although Sterling Moss will still not have won any championships. But you know, when are you going to win championships if you keep giving your championship-winning capable car away to other people? I mean, idiocy.
Those were different times.
Thankfully, Javery have 2 cars, and they're each in their own.
Yes, the rules of the game do not allow them to change cars midway through the race.
No. Plus, I mean, I think Flavoury Rug even lives in Yorkshire, so it's quite a difference in distance between the two. So, you know, swapping seats,
Yes.
quite a mission mid-race.
Sort of a 200-mile drive.
Yeah.
Until they perfect teleportation, of course.
Yeah.
Why would that apply with both cars being in very close proximity to each other here in Sweden?
I'm confused.
Was that a Northern Monkeys car I saw backwards off the track there?
I suspect it was.
The lesser spotted Northern Monkeys car.
Yes, they both finally turned up for a race in their livery. Well, one of them has.
I mean, they've had a stunning run of results so far. 3 DNFs and 1 DNS. Can they improve upon that today?
Well, here's hoping. I mean, second driver Rat on Edge has gained the best results so far for the team with a 9th and an 11th, but still that amounts to no points.
Yes, a good start to the season.
And Bukoy runs wide into the gravel.
Trying to go around the outside of Smithy there, but who's decided to do the remainder of the race with no front wing by the looks of things.
He evidently thinks this, it won't be as much of an advantage as driving round, as making the pit stop and losing what is nearly 35 seconds for a front wing change in these cars.
As long as you keep it in a straight line, it's probably not losing too much time if you decide to stay out, especially in this weather.
Yes, and with the field spread through various incidents, and that's by Junior. Oh, and he's hit the wall. That may have cost him his front wing.
He's found reverse fairly quickly though.
Oh, but he's overtaken by his teammates.
That's going to sting.
That will sting a lot. Especially because By Junior has shown himself to be quite a lot faster in this season, and unlike Smithy, By Junior decides to pit and change his front wing.
With barely 6 minutes left on the clock, have to see whether that's a wise decision or not.
He'll need to have some pace to come back from that. This will probably drop him outside the points.
Oh, he's overshot his box. That's not going to help the crew any. Although the crew don't seem to be too worried.
PY James nearly having a moment in the first corner, but manages to save it and continue.
Hoping his yellow nose can lead the way in this grim weather.
Yes, it stands out as a beacon if you see that car in your rear view mirrors.
He's had a funny season so far. Promising first round Grand Sachs, 4th and 8th, but then after that it was a mixed bag with a couple of DNFs, a couple of point scores, but he's showed some pace, but not delivered as of yet.
He didn't have the most reliable car in testing, did he?
No.
No, he found it caught fire a fair amount, which was quite distressing for him, I understand.
I believe he was very happy to see the rain when he woke up this morning here, figuring that his car couldn't possibly catch fire in such a deluge.
I guess time will tell.
Who are we looking at here? This
I
is.
believe this is Lynn with the red earbox.
So where is he now? Is he up into the?
I believe he's 7th and a few seconds ahead of Dan Thorne.
Excellent. So he's on for another point score, which is good.
First since Zandvoort, and there's a car stopped at the side of the road. That is Rattonage, I believe. The only
It's-
non-livery
yes.
car.
The only anonymous car this week. Looks like his engine may have given up the ghost.
That would be extremely unfortunate. That would make him the second driver after PY James to have that happen in the race.
Larry now hot on the tail of Smithy. Still without his front wing. Is he,
I believe he's got to
gonna
run
make
on
a move?
into the third from last corner, called Hansen. And
Bop. What an overtake.
he's made it stick. A textbook overtake down the inside.
Lovely.
Doobie dop wop do wop. And off he goes.
So that moves Blairy up into 5th place.
Back up into 4th now, I think. Yes, 4th behind the two Javery cars and Ollie K's Team OK Cornetto.
Blairy, of course, who won at Zandvoort, but has had some mixed results since then. Failed to score in the first race at pole.
He's had a 6th in the second race, but the Zandvoort round was very strong for him with a 1st and 2nd in the 2 races. Currently he's 4th in the championship behind the leading 3.
This is the battle for 5th then. McCoy chasing down Smithy.
He's got
Close
2 minutes left to do it. McCoy, a cautious driver though. He'll bide his time until he sees the opportunity. He won't rush into things.
He'll have an advantage around these sweepers, as he can see.
Swiffy ran wide a bit out of the banked corner, and that allowed Bucoy to make a clean pass.
Yes, that lack of front wing really showing the lack of downforce that he now has on his car.
Yes, it looks simple, but it really makes a huge difference to the car's handling ability.
Back to the front, and there's Ollie chasing down, I believe, Flavouring?
Jama's slowing at the side of the track. He's got back running again, so
Just getting out of the way of the leaders.
yes, being extremely courteous there, as should be encouraged, of course.
This is going to make for an interesting, what will, I should think, be the final lap. Ollie K closing right in on Flavoury. He's been so quick all weekend as Ollie K.
Yeah, currently running in the 149's rate speed.
If it wasn't for that collision at the first corner, he could well have gone on to dominate this race. As it is, he's put in a mighty impressive performance to recover from it.
Flavoury Rug getting a bit of sideways action on the exit there of Hansen. Then Ollie K closed right up on him.
I feel it's a matter of time before Ollie K manages to get a run on Flavoury Rug and at least attempt to pass.
Flavoury's really struggling there with the grip.
The tyres may be starting to go off after 25 minutes of racing.
Not sure the wear rates on these wet tyres. I should think it's considerably less.
Look at that visibility.
I would if I could see it, Adam.
And Flavoury Rug has run slightly wide at turn 2. That'll give Ollie K a run into turn 3. They're running side by side.
Oh, that's brave.
Oh my, this is
Down the
very
outside
close.
there.
But I think Ollie's got it done. He's made it stick. That was a very good pass in these conditions.
Fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic.
Has he undone it all? He's gone wide there.
Unless too careful not to throw it away in these conditions, it's remarkably easy to do. One lapse in concentration and you're pointing backwards in the gravel.
Whether he's not giving up, although he's a little bit of a slip there on the exit of the turn.
But someone who's not having a slip is Jay Coops.
Aside from the first 100 yards or so, he's led this entire race.
A very impressive display.
And he comes through, takes the checkered flag, and that puts him in the lead of the championship going into the final race.
And with his nearest rivals finishing 3rd and 6th, that is a significant advantage he has.
Certainly is. So that puts him 4 points ahead of Flavoury, who's finished in 3rd there and grabs 6 points.
And 7 points ahead of Smithy, who's... Oh no, this isn't Smithy. This is AGOK overtaking PY James. But unfortunately it's not going to gain them points because Dan Thorne holds the final point for 8th.
Yeah, that was a battle for the final, well, the first of the non-points positions, but that's not bad from AGOK considering his second lap antics.
Exactly, it's very impressive to recover that far up the field after this delay.
Well, the first 3 have all crossed the line, and here is Blairy in 4th. Does that mean Buko has dropped back at some point? Was he not ahead of Blairy?
No, he was behind.
No, he's overtaken and just lapping Race Pro UK for the final time on the last corner.
Haven't seen much of the monolith car this race, but he's made it to the end.
Another finish. Monolith have scored 1 point this season. That was in the first race at Brands Hatch.
And Smithy holding on to 6th place there, but despite all his final few laps with no front wing. So we have confirmation of the race results. Jay Coops, 1st place, puts him in pole position for the championship. Ollie K, a stunning drive from the back of the grid. Well, the front to the back to the front. And Flavoury Rug in 3rd.
And Ratton is the only car who failed to finish in 15th, although that was a DNF for him.
Yeah, confirmation it was engine trouble there for him.
That's unfortunate for him. The cars make their way back to the pits. And all repairs will be carried out, ready for the next race, which will be the finale of the Formula R Challenge.
Surely Jay Coops to lose now. 7 point advantage going into the last round. Only a disaster.
I think so. But anything can happen in these conditions.
He needs a 2 or 3 place advantage over... Flavoury needs a 2 or 3 place advantage over Jay Coops to take the title in the final race. You have to think Smithy's out of it now, though, with the poor finish here.
He needs a big result in the next race.
Anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you for the second race of the event soon.